Alright, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom for the hopefully elect. Alright, I want to do a quick video, just in transit, so I'm going to be quoting the precepts. I know, if you've seen, my other videos, they don't get much views, so you probably, haven't, but nevertheless, sometimes I'll do a little in transit and God damn, what the fuck you doing, man? I'm sorry, these women driving. It's a lot, kid, Let me stay focused. Usually I'll kind of like pull some scriptures up on my phone, but today I'm not really feeling that. I'm just gonna, quote the precepts. The scriptures say, "Be not righteous over much." If I'm quoting the precepts, it's still edifying. So, anyways, so this is a video from this guy, this Edomite. He looks like an Edomite. I perceive him to be an Edomite through his spirit. I don't really think he's Jake or anything. Could be wrong. I'm just a man. I'm not. I don't have perfect spiritual perception. Anyways, he made a video called and I follow this guy. He does he's a prepper. He lives up in Maine. He basically ditched the traditional life, and now he is he's into the country life, the sticks, and prepping, because he can see that SHTF is going to happen. All right. So he had just posted this video. You feel it too, don't you? Okay. And I was watching it, and I wanted to do a quick reply, and link it to a biblical prophecy. All right. Because this whole SHTF thing is in the Bible. Okay. Daniel 12:1, Jeremiah 30:7, right? 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, of course. Okay, St. Matthew 24, right? The tribulation of those days. All right. So the Lord is going to make all hell break loose. You could also go to Isaiah, 19:3, right? The Most High said He's going to set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. That Egypt in that chapter, if you can receive it, is talking about America. All right. Spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to let this play. Basically, the mirth of the land is gone. All right, like it says in Isaiah, I believe the 24th chapter, the mirth of the land is gone. All joy is turned into darkness, roughly paraphrasing. If a brother wants to slap some of these precepts up, man, that'd be much appreciated. But anyways, we're going to let this play, and it shows you that these Edomites, man, they can feel that something is coming. All right, they can feel that something is coming. Everybody can feel it, because the Most High has created this dark energy, all right, in America. The joy of the land is darkened, all mirth is gone, roughly paraphrasing. The mirth of the land is gone. So with that, without further ado, we're gonna let this play. This is fair use, all right. Sorry.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. So I think this is the 7th take trying to make this video, and I keep starting it and it just doesn't go the way that I want it to go. And who knows, this this may not be the last. Maybe there'll be an 8th. So I got a question. Do you feel it? That question is related to, do you feel like something is coming? Like something is around the corner? Something is just over the horizon. And I don't mean something positive. I don't mean something good. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be real. But do you feel like things are heading in a direction that it's going to end up being that it's heading in a direction we need to prepare for? Let me put it that way. And I bring this up, and I think I made a video similar to this a couple months ago. But I've had so many people comment on other videos that I've done, as well as over on my Substack, things that I've written over there. So many people have commented that they feel like something is coming, that they are positive something's coming, that things are not improving, things are not getting better. The opposite, things are getting worse. And sometimes they point to reasons, sometimes they don't. They just say, it's just going to keep getting worse. But when they do point to reasons, and I'd like to know your opinion and comment below, a popular thing has been obviously the U.S.-Iran.
Hey, Slacky, just to avoid a little copyright thing, I'm gonna kind of speed his video up just a little bit. And if you see this modern exodus, all right, I'm not making any money off of this. All right, I'm not trying to, clout chase, or I'm not trying to gain anything from your video. All right, this is just for Bible edification. All right, so not making any money off of this is fair use. All right.
And Israel, Middle East situation over there with the petroleum market, the strategic petroleum reserve that continues to decline even now and has not been refilled in quite some time. In that agreement that has occurred over there that is really coming into question whether or not that's even real or it's sustainable. The vast majority of people that I hear from, they believe it's not. There's that. There's AI. There's a lot of people, including experts out there, that believe that we are going to see over the next year to 2 years a major change in the job market, that so many jobs are going to be eliminated with AI. There is some indication that will actually create other jobs and other opportunities, but
yeah, it's going to create the opportunity for you to take a microchip or get your head chopped off. This is where they're going with it, okay?
I suspect that when companies see that they can eliminate positions and just utilize AI and reduce their labor costs, that's what's going to happen. So what's that going to mean for people in the job market?
It's going to mean the job market is going to be fucked. Excuse my language. Yeah, it's going to mean that this whole thing is going to collapse, and they're going to roll in this CBDC, central bank digital currency, using the microchip, and they're going to force you to use that chip to buy and sell, like it says in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18. All right, that mark of the beast is the microchip. All right, we're going to see it play out in our days. All right, we are in the last days, man. All right, we're going to see Jacob's trouble. This is what this guy is talking about. People can feel that the height of Jacob's trouble is around the corner. Okay, this is end time biblical prophecy that we are living in. All right, it's not going to be delayed. Okay, this is it, man. The Lord is done with this shit. Excuse my language. He is done looking down on planet Earth and seeing this big ball of mess and nastiness and wickedness known as America, Babylon the Great. He's going to light it up with fire, with nuclear missiles soon. All right, when he sends his only begotten son back. All right, and you can believe it or not, because that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, so Salakia, my bad. Sometimes you get a little excited, but let's let this keep playing.
Russia and Ukraine, you don't seem to hear about that much anymore. It doesn't change the fact that it's escalated over there recently. And again, there's a lot of talk. Who knows what's going to happen? But there's a lot of chatter that Russia is coming to the point that they want this ended, and that they will end it. And if they have to go nuclear, then that's what they'll do. We'll see. We'll see. You look at Europe, and there's many countries over there with massive civil unrest in some of the big cities because the citizens have gotten tired of what's going on in their country. A lot of it has to do with their demographics and their culture and society. And there's violence in the streets. That's another whole thing. But there's a lot that's going on in the world that is making people feel uneasy. And in the United States, same thing, the division within the citizenship. I mean, I've never received so much hate and trolling in all my life when I post something. It can be just, get out of the cities. Move out of the cities, move to the countryside, try to live your life, be happy. Somehow that...
Yeah, you know, the scripture says, or Yahushua said, right, which he comes in the volume of the book, right, but, excuse me, Yahushua, you know, he said, when he was on the scene, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand, all right? Slack it 1 second. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand, all right? So all this internal division, Democrats, Republicans, you know, at the end of the day, it's all two sides of the same coin, you know, but they're so at each other's throats, man, because the Lord is collapsing this place, man, you know, from the inside out, okay? And he's creating that division, you know, and he's creating that tension and that spirit of political violence and racial violence and, you know, class violence. You know, he's you know, the Lord is with it, man. He's a man of war, all right? So, yeah, you know. And another thing, we know when Esau says get out of the cities, we know what he's talking about. You know, we know that's a racist thing that he's saying. You know, we know that we know that that's a code for get away from Jake, you know, because that's that perpetual hatred, you know. But the way Jake acts and the way these 2/3, these YNs act, I mean, you know, can you even blame him, you know?
Is triggering to people. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's a big thunderstorm coming in. But somehow that's become triggering to people that I would suggest such an idea. The bottom line is people are getting frustrated, they're stressed, some of them are angry, and they're tired, and they don't know what's going to happen. You know, they hear the news talk about the stock market hitting an all-new record. They hear record profits with a variety of big corporations. Meanwhile, they're trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table.
Yep.
And that's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. I've talked to several people just in the last week personally, and they just throw their hands up and they're like, you know, no, I don't have any hope. I didn't have a single person sit there and tell me, you know, I think things are going to be fantastic. I think gas prices are going to drop. Food's going to decrease. I'm going to get a big raise at work.
Yep.
No, that's not happening. You know, all the citizens in the country are going to come together in a big group hug. Nope, I didn't hear that. Quite the opposite. So, and a lot of them have checked out of watching the news because they hear the same thing all the time. They've checked out of looking to their local and state leaders to make decisions that are in their best interest because they've seen it time and time again, promises made, promises not kept. And it just never makes any difference. They see the inflation, they see the roller coaster of gas prices, and it's just constant negativity. So a lot of them are checking out of watching the news. Maybe they pay attention a little bit, but largely they're just trying to live their life the best that they can. But they go to the grocery store and they see hamburger for $9 a pound.
Yep.
You know, they see you know what milk costs, what cheese costs.
And you know, and if I may, these people here in Babylon, man, they're too proud to admit it. They're too proud to talk about it, but they are feeling the squeeze, yo. The Lord is putting the squeeze on these people, man. All right. You know, I was watching a brother from GMS, I believe Orlando or maybe West Palm Beach, one of the Florida camps, and Shalom to the brother, you know, of course, on the off chance that he may see this. You know, his page is GMS Ancient Wine, you know, Salakia to the brother. I don't know his, you know, Hebrew name, but anyways, oh man, what the fuck? Salakia. He, you know, was going into the financial situation in a video that I had watched yesterday. And, yeah, he was basically saying the only ones that will admit that you know, the situation is bad is the Israelites, man. we will openly admit that you know, that we're feeling the squeeze, you know, but everyone is. These people of the world, they're just too proud to admit it, all right? I'm sorry, give me 1 second. See it, yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Yep. All right, so, you know, these people of the world, they're too proud to admit that shit is going left, economically, excuse my language, but it is, and they're just not talking about it because they're just silently hoping and praying that things go back to normal, but that's not the will of the Lord, So, with that, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom.